Spain. And yes, I get paid to scroll through Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. But before you start dreaming about having my job, let me add a bit more context. I'm the person in charge of influencer marketing at italki's European team. And over the last 3 years, I've arranged hundreds of collaborations with content creators, mainly from the language learning and education space. Today, I'm here to give you a behind-the-scenes look at what companies look at in influencers, how to maximize your brand collaborations, and most importantly, how to build happy and successful partnerships with brands, no matter how big or small your following is. So let's dive in. So what do brands really look for when selecting influencers? What do you all think? Any ideas, thoughts?
I would say someone who is both engaging and also good at what they do. Those seem to be the two sides of it.
All right. Engagement, I heard. Conversions. Okay. Well, I thought you were going to say followers, but it isn't. We had a spoiler before. Thank you, Andy. So the follower number is not the main factor, at least not anymore. With the rise of Reels and short-form content, metrics like engagement rate, average views, reach are far more important. And that holds true whether you're on TikTok, YouTube, or any other platform. So first takeaway, don't stress so much about the number of Ks next to your name. Brands, my brand included, want to know how many people actually see your content. That's why we look at the 30-day average views in order to get an idea of your content's performance. But let's face it, we all know that the algorithm isn't always friendly, especially when it comes to sponsored posts. The moment you put this label of paid partnership, that video is going to be shown less in users' feeds than the rest of organic videos. So you might need to put some special effort into branded content. Think of how you can create a super captivating or engaging video in order to make it work within the quirks of its platform's algorithm. Now, you may have some viral videos under your belt, which is great, but we are more interested in consistency. Regular content posting is key for brands to see stable KPIs, key performance indicators, and also to understand the potential impact of your content. But let's talk about something even more critical, that is alignment. Does your channel's theme resonate with the brand's values? Or is your audience one that would be interested in getting their product? Those are the questions that every brand wants answered before they reach out. So now that you know what brands are looking for, stop recommending them for free without getting any compensation. So let's see how you can get sponsorships no matter how big or small the following is. In fact, many brands, so again, I'm here to tell you, you don't need many thousands of followers to get sponsorships. And in fact, many brands prefer working with micro or nano influencers because their engagement is higher and their community is more niche, as we just saw. Actually, according to Forbes, 82% of the consumers prefer or trust recommendations from this size of influencers because they are perceived as more authentic. So where should you start? All right. First of all, make it easy for brands to find you. Use keywords in your bio. Leave your email visible on all your platforms. Check your DMs frequently, as more and more brands are opting for quick DMs rather than formal emails. And make sure you have keywords as well in your video titles. In this way, you are more likely to appear in influencer search tools. But above all, be proactive. If you really want to work with a brand, don't wait for them to find you. Instead, reach out to them, find their marketing or partnerships email, normally at the bottom of their websites, or look up the person in charge on LinkedIn. Now, let's see how you can become a pro at pitching to brands. Imagine you are the influencer marketing specialist at a company receiving multiple emails a day, like these ones, right? what would make you stop scrolling and pick one influencer over another one? Personalization. Brands want to feel that you know them and that you truly care about working together. So try to approach the brand in the same way that you would like to be approached. If they contact you mentioning something they like about your videos, proving that they are fans of your content and that they really know your channel, that shows effort and genuine interest. This is the winner. Well, so when you pitch a brand, make sure you include the following things in your message. Why you like the company, how you've used their product or service before, why your audience would love to hear about them, a brief content idea, also respond promptly and have your media kit ready to go, including your latest demographics, best performing videos, and past collaborations. So with a solid pitch strategy in place, let's dive into the next step, which would be monetizing your content and negotiating efficiently with brands. You might have heard about affiliate marketing. This is a great way to start if you're new, if you don't want to put too much time into branded content. Sponsorships, on the other hand, are an equally viable option that gives you the security of receiving normally a flat fee agreed upon with the sponsor, rather than relying on less definite performance-based options such as affiliate marketing. Do keep in mind, however, that the fee that the sponsor or the brand is willing to pay is going to depend on the factors I mentioned at the beginning, but also on your negotiation skills. But no worries, because we'll get to that point very soon. Also, if you are not an established creator yet, the initial fees might not be very high, but there's no overnight success in influencer marketing or in social media. Let's take this example of an Instagrammer I worked with back in 2021. At that moment, I think I told you it was one of her very first sponsors, and we agreed to a fee of 60 euros. It was 2021. The sponsor video reached like 5,000 people, and she had like 15,000 followers at that moment. Well, nowadays, she's one of the key opinion leaders in Spain in her field, which is traveling. She charges over 3,000 euros per sponsor video, which reached like millions of views, and she has like over 300,000 followers. So again, no overnight success. It took her 3 years. So now, as I promised before, let's see some tips on how you can secure a higher or greater compensation. Think of how you can add value to... Hola, buenos días. Hi. So you can take a seat. Think of how you can add value to your offer. For instance, with a 360-degree campaign that spans multiple platforms instead of offering just one single post. For instance, YouTube integration plus newsletter feature plus Instagram stories. In this way, you'll be able to charge a higher fee. Another way of adding value to your offer is using storytelling. People love stories, and brands know it. So if you can present their product in a relatable way, you're in great position. Let's take this example of this TikToker called Carla. She documented her journey learning Norwegian from scratch, and she created a series of videos. In the first one, she did a get ready with me for my first Norwegian lesson. Then in the following videos, she updated her audience on her progress with Norwegian. And in the rest of the videos, she applied what she had learned by creating content using trends, such as how would Spanish sound if it was as Norwegian, or Norwegian words that don't have translation into Spanish. Now let's see how you can make high-performing content that brands love. First of all, you can always ask the brand what their goal is. Knowing this will provide you with the greatest amount of leverage. If they seek brand awareness aim for a viral video, maybe using a trend. If they need traffic to their website, as Andy explained before, use a very powerful call to action, maybe at the end of the video. And if they seek conversions, sales, this might be the hardest one to get, of course, but here there are some clues. Firstly, always test the product or service. In this way, you'll be able to speak from first-hand experience, which sells better than just reading off some bullet points with the features about the service or product. There's an expression in marketing that says, features tell, benefits sell, but adapted to 2024 and to the social media world, I would rather say stories sell. For instance, try swiping a content idea, like tips to learn German, with something more personal, like how I learned German, my story. Just like Lara from Deutsch mit Lara did. Her video skyrocketed, hitting over 200K views. The second tip would be make it organic, natural. We've entered an era with TikTok and UGCs, user-generated content, where authenticity is everything. We've left behind this kind of superficial, super curated content, embracing instead videos that are casual, natural, spontaneous, credible, and that add some sort of value. That's why the UGC's creators are so popular, because they speak to the camera as if they were talking to a friend. Now let's see some integration examples where the sponsor part is truly integrated. You might have heard about this influencer named Andri, who teaches German. Well, for this sponsor video, she was translating a German song into Spanish, and for the sponsor part, she used the help of an Italki teacher in order to count with a second opinion about the deep meaning of Rammstein's lyrics. Another example of good integrations are Linguriosas. She has a channel about linguistics and curiosities about languages in Spanish. And every time she needs to promote italki, she takes a lesson in the theme of the language of the video. And for instance, for a video about the French R, she took a French pronunciation lesson that she showed in the video. For a video about English, she took an English lesson. And even for a video about Basque, she took a Basque lesson, of course. Now, this is the last point I would like to cover today, and is how to scale to a long-term collaboration. So let's say that you have landed your first deal. Congratulations, that's great. But the goal shouldn't end there. Ideally, you want to scale to this long-term collaboration, become a brand ambassador, because this is beneficial for you, for the brand, and for your audience. It helps you save time otherwise spent negotiating, reaching out, reading briefings, testing products. Also, it helps you have a steady income ahead of time. Also, it keeps your messaging consistent. This doesn't mean exclusivity, but it could. And just remember, brands are looking for 4 things in a long-term collaboration: great performance, budget fit, smooth communication, and your true motivation to keep working together. Now, I think that's enough theory for today. I can't wait to hear your questions later in the Q&A session. And of course, feel free to connect with me directly. Transition. Feel free to grab my contact details in here. And I'll be at the conference until November 8th. So don't be shy, come say hi. And thank you so much for listening.